All of this on top of a weekend already filled with tragedy. Tonight, friends are remembering a Greensboro mother killed by her husband in a murder-suicide. They're sharing her passion for helping the community with WFMO News 2's Nixon Norman.
This case is in connection to the shelter-in-place alert that was sent by Greensboro police overnight Friday. I spoke with a loved one of the family. He says while the investigation continues, he wants people to remember who was lost. A longtime friend, still struggling to imagine a world without Alessandra Merchant.
It was a tragedy.
Marcelo Ramos says Alessandra was one of the first people he met after moving to Greensboro over a decade ago. Greensboro police say 38-year-old Alessandra was found shot to death inside of her home off Creekwood Drive Friday night. The result of what investigators call a murder-suicide by her husband, 62-year-old Paul Merchant. Officers say at one point he even shot at them from inside the home. For friends like Ramos, the last few days have been a blur.
Okay, so welcome to the video, guys. So, your friends are mourning 38-year-old woman from Greensboro, who was killed by her husband in a murder suicide, and another tragic event that's happening in our area here. Not necessarily sure, what the whole motive was behind this, but as you can see, um, they they tore up the home. I'm sure this was from trying to get into the home and trying to see what was going on, and possibly trying to save her life and stuff like that. And it was said that the suspect here, which was the husband, he shot at the police that were there as well. Very, very tragic. So my condolences to the family. And we just never know what's going on. Like I said in previous videos, there's a lot of mental issues that are going on with people, and they're not able to bring themselves to get the help that they need. And these type of stories is the results of those things. And it's very, very tragic. It looks like she was a mother as well, and so now there's a kid that's going to be uh, growing up without their parents, really both of their parents. This was a murder suicide here. Very, very unfortunate event, and it looks like they had a nice home and things like that, but you never know what's going on behind closed doors. You never know what people are going through, and this is just very tragic. Um, as they have one of her friends up here, saying nice things about her. Um, we just have to put a lot of stuff into perspective, and as I was always saying, if you having issues and stuff like that, it's best to try to seek the help that's available, because there's a lot of resources out here. You just have to really put the effort into seeking those resources out, and make sure that you're prioritizing and realizing how precious that life is. So she was 38 years old. I think they said that the husband was 62. Um, so again, we never know really what was going on behind closed doors. But I'm gonna just let the video continue.
Still a great shock just to think that now we have to live life without her smile, her joy, her happiness, her contagious energy being around us.
Police and Ramos say her 17-year-old son was released safely during negotiations. Ramos wants him to know there is a community standing behind him.
Right now, he just needs to know that everybody is glad that he's okay.
Those who loved her say Alessandra's kindness never wavered, not in friendship, not in motherhood, not in community.
I would say most of the Brazilian community knows who she was, and she impacted their life in some way.
So as they were saying, this young mother here, she her 17-year-old son sounds like he was there in the house when all this ordeal was going on, and that's heavy because you're 17, you're definitely considered a man amongst, the society here, especially, once you turn 18. Um, and this the 17-year-old, he's definitely going to be traumatized, for the rest of his life as far as what happened. And I'm sure, he's seen a lot and heard a lot within the home and stuff like that. And you know it's it's um it's just very, 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 very tragic. um it's going to be interesting once they try to find a motive. Maybe they are, interviewing the 17-year-old and trying to see as much information as he may know. It says that, she is of Brazilian nationality. So it's, they were saying that she was very, very active within the community, and specifically within the Brazilian community that is in Greensboro. So it's a big loss. Um, for that community specifically. And hopefully the 17-year-old is able to, like, try to make something positive out of this tragedy, and not necessarily let it completely take over and ruin his life. Man, I can't imagine, going through that at all, especially at 17. You're trying to, if you're not out of school, you're trying to finish up school. So I know this is going to be definitely something that's going to be heavy on his heart, and, a big weight on his shoulders as far as, trying to find some type of normalcy in life after, this happened. Let's see. Let's listen to the end of this video and, see what else we can get from this story here.
Friends say she lived with joy,
In the last 12 years, I can't think of a sad day with her.
and they want her life, not her final moments, to be what people remember.
As you see in the pictures, she was, smiling. Um, have on the football jersey of, the Brazilian national team. And seems like, she was on that picture on the left here. Looks like she was, very into, like, fitness and stuff like that. So, you can build a whole community around, like, fitness and going to the gym and stuff like that. So again, very, very sad story. And I'm very interested to see, if they can find a motive of what drove the husband to doing this type of heinous act. And if there will be any updates, we'll definitely keep our ears and our eyes close to it and see what we can find out. But I'm gonna go ahead and close this video out here. Again, condolences to her family, and hopefully that her 17-year-old is able to find some type of normalcy, after, going through, mourning and grieving of his mother. It's very, very sad for him because now he has to live his whole adult life, thinking about, whether he could have done something different or whether he could have intervened. But it's good that he was released during, like, the standoff, and he wasn't harmed himself. So he does have the opportunity to go on and live life, even though, his heart is definitely going, always be heavy from losing his mother in this type of way. But again, if you like my content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This is Justin Paul. Peace.